Hello, Scorpio. This is your 2016 forecast. This will work for a Scorpio sun sign, or if you have a Scorpio ascending sign, this will also work for you. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the flavor of each month and then how it affects you particularly. So everyone is going to encounter omens about who has real power in January 2016. It should be really interesting. And we will see more signs of revolution and upgrade jitters. So my advice, be cool, manage your brand and your duties. Mercury's retrograde, January 2nd through 25th, or actually it's the 5th through the 25th. So the first thing we're looking at is the new moon in your third house. So you have important meetings and visits on this first week of January. And life changes could be for the better, might be a little irritating at first, but what's really interesting is that you are in a personal upgrade in terms of your duties, job, accounting, and health, so that you can be helped by technology with these things. But it also means that it's just this constant change, this constant anticipating the future. So it's almost like you're in a contest with yourself and everybody that you're working with. So that's January. February, the month is a sleeper. It wakes up at the end, but even then it seems even more dreamy when it wakes up. So pay attention to subtle clues and train your ESP. Avoid toxins and shun illusions. And in this case, the full moon will accentuate your 11th house benefactors, patrons, and friends, and maybe give you some sense of the future. And at the same time, you've been had this really highly sensitized and maybe even glamorous awareness of your talent, and maybe some extra spirituality or mysticism associated with your children, if you have any children, and there could be a special kind of luck going on, but it's complicated. So this will be very much in focus during this full moon at the end of February. So that's the 20th through March 2nd is what I'm seeing the whole time window. Now in terms of March, there are a whole wave of eclipses going through here, so global opinion will shift, especially regarding topics of religion, patronage, and healing. So my advice, be ready for anything, keep the faith, but use science and worst-case analysis. So the March 4th through 10th is the new moon phase. It's very influential. March 8th is the total solar eclipse, and in this case, you really want to be focusing on your special talents, and use probability analysis, so it's not hope, but what you think you can really estimate is going to work out. And this will set the trends in terms of your talent development, to some degree for the next 6 months. So then the lunar eclipse is highlighting your benefactors, patrons, and friends, so you can say who's going to work with you and who isn't going to work. So there's some big decisions about who's in and who's out. And then April is a wild and futuristic month. You can use charismatic but humane elements. The quest that you come up upon, should you accept it, is helped by a study of science and more SIG, special interest group, networking. So we're starting off with the new moon, and this is going to give you some specific duties, job, related work, accounting, and health to focus on. And of course, you've got a whole lot of futuristic, innovative, and new things and outside the box thinking to help you with these areas, and that would be one thing. But then you also have some meetings that are loaded with political intensity, and everyone's kind of secretive, and and all that sort of thing, and there's constantly transforming. So it makes it a little bit more complicated, this new moon. Okay, the May 2016, there are some heroic missions now, and muscle, courage, and street smarts are prerequisite. Strong allies can reinforce each other, so you want to have them on your side, and that there's affection there, and also you can pool your resources for great success. So Mercury's retrograde April 28th through May 22nd, so extra care in communications and transportation. The full moon in May, I think, is going to be the highlight of the month, and this can bring you some money, and that there's this kind of entrepreneurial thing going on. Many people are in show-off mode, feel compelled to perform, demonstrate strength, so it's kind of like this contest. So you might get a little hyped up, but if you can plan in advance how you're going to make money, you have your survival instincts working, should be okay. So June 2016 is a rewarding but challenging month with tricky and tempting components. Pardon me. This is a contest between superpowers. So use strategy, not emotion. management and adaptive modes will say revise, revise, revise. So when you see how this works is that you have opportunities on the new moon for collaborations, contracts, and troubleshooting, and you are getting serious about resources, aesthetics, and instincts, and also making money, and a lot of discipline and professionalism will help you do that. But what makes things more interesting and more complex is that you have this whole new group of friends coming in that kind of started September, October 2015, and they're knocking things around, and they're expansive people, and then you want to preserve the sanctity of your talent and also the positive things regarding your friends. And regarding your children, if you have any, that there's that kind of high sensitivity and empathy that surrounds them. So this is a full house, a lot going on the new moon, is you want to be ready to set things up the way you want them. And it's just a juggling act, really, because as soon as you get one thing figured out, something else pops up. Okay, July, we're probably regrouping on all these issues that we saw in June, a little bit of a timeout here. Take stock, see who's on your team, particularly team building here on the new moon, July 2nd through to 9th. And so this is time for you to get some education, for you to reconnect with your religious background, maybe do some travel, more global awareness. But meanwhile, there are these meetings and visits that have all these spooky power undertones, overtones. It's just really complicated, these meetings. You gotta, do you have your scheme, plan A, plan B? What are you gonna do? Have that ready. So that's gonna be whether you build good teams or not. Okay, now August, the first 3 quarters is fun, so play it up. But that back to school time is gonna hold many dear lessons, so you wanna be ready in August. You wanna build your strength and stay tuned, right? So in this case, there's a Mars-Saturn conjunction in your second house, which might mean extra expenses, but it can mean more money coming in too if you engineer it correctly. This is what kind of a heavy-handed or overloaded thing, so you want to be geared up. So that kind of snaps out of that fun time in August into boy, it's really serious business. So that would be one thing, but this forms a square to Neptune, which you feel that maybe you have to protect your talent and your children because they're maybe a little sensitive to some of this stuff, so a little buffer zone there, so give yourself some play time because it's a lot of work organizing materials, tools, resources, and then you want to be able to have at least some kind of way to let your imagination play, and so not be too heavy-handed. Okay, during this time frame, the sun moves through your 11th house, benefactors, patrons, and friends, so they're also going to be requiring a little bit of attention. So this is time almost like in June where you have a lot of different things pulling at you. Okay, so you remember March was some eclipses. Now we're going on some more eclipses here in September. So assignments take you on a rocky road. Positive outcome are likely, but change is definitely in the wind. So the last week is very lucky. The first 3 quarters, ongoing management and trend monitoring kind of throw over from August. We have Mercury retrograde August 30th through September 22nd. Okay, so the new moon phase is a solar eclipse. So in this case, you might be meeting all kinds of new people, new clubs, and this could correspond with an upswing in your social life. Solar eclipses are a challenging time for men, especially those who harbor illusions or have chemical dependency. So you want to get off anything that isn't doing you some good, setting the trends, and also, just checking in with what clubs would be good for you. So just to complicate that and make things more interesting, ever since November 2015, we've had a Saturn square Neptune. In your case, Saturn in your second house is frugality, but also new ways, professional ways to enhance resources, but at the same time, preserving that sanctity, that mystique for with your own personal talent, developing that, and also being aware of either the spirituality or sensitivity of your children, and also teaching them lessons about illusions, trickery, toxins, chaos, all the stuff that's out there, making them street smart. The full moon is a lunar eclipse, and this is going to highlight duties, job, accounting, health. That makes me think that you'll be in problem-solving mode on this lunar eclipse, and trying to figure things out for you, the people you work with, or whoever is someone you're in a position to advise. October 2016, a whole other shift now. So starting off with a big bang, a rocket ride into the future, very fun socially. Get out there, be generous, learn new skills. Okay, so the new moon in your 12th house is that you are feeling a sense of some kind of almost like spiritual like support, where you're wise, and you have a kind of a sense of spirituality. Your dreams might dictate what the next thing is going to be, so you're really ready. And what you have here is a 12-month period that will prepare you for a personal renaissance, which will occur September, October 2017. And so this is kind of like things developing in your spirituality, so you have that background. The full moon, again, brings more job, more duty, accounting, and health issues to you. And in this case, though, you may have the futuristic and innovative tools to be able to solve these things. November is mostly neutral, but with surprise options, good for catch-up. Lucky new moon at the end of November will prep December. So in this case, your spirituality, your intuition will give you advance notice about what's going to happen in meetings for much of November. And that can be really fortunate. So the new moon at the end of November is in your second house, so you're serious about materials, tools, resources, and trying to gather things for yourself. And this is extremely fortuitous because your intuition is helping you on one hand, and on the other hand, new management skills are helping you. But both these things converging to bring you more money and more resources on that new moon if you plan correctly. So the action-packed marathon in December will squeeze that extra work from all of us, as the end of the year will dictate completions ASAP. Visionary new moon will set up the New Year's trends for 2017. Mercury retrograde again December 19th through January 8th. Extra care, communications, and transportation. So we're starting off not starting off, but in the middle of December, we have a full moon that's really interesting. The full moon highlights collaborations, contracts, and troubleshooting, but also what you've got to know what you have to work with in being frugal. So what your resources at hand may dictate to some degree how many collaborations you can get involved with. Well, as it turns out, too, is your abilities in terms of your duties, job, and accounting that could be with technology, futurism, innovation. That's going to help you, so that could push some deals through for you. And also ongoing into 2017, your intuition can constantly be helping you as you update your duties, job, and accounting. So the new moon at the end of December will feature a lot of meetings, visits, and increasing your media skill set, and also more talent development, inspiration, and your children, if you have any, may be getting more entrepreneurial or more athletic. So, a lot of good stories going on, and this kind of takes us into the new year, 2017. Hard to imagine, right? But anyway, have a great year, Scorpio. I think this is a year of preparing you for your personal renaissance in 2017. So, wishing you the best. Thank you for watching. My name is Victoria Martin.
Bu akşam seminerimizi canlı olarak mobil uygulamamız üzerinden yapıyoruz.